We saw Mike 120 with a pop-up.
He did,
Now we have a chance maybe for H. Lansley to do the same thing as we go into game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, we also had a fantastic clip coming out of, not Cody Rue, it was Karate Jojo.
Karate Jojo!
Karate Jojo. They got some very interesting names, those Ute boys. But
Karate.
I'm looking to see if they can continue their momentum against Fisher because they are not pushovers whatsoever.
This is the first time that we have seen Recharge today. Great to be able to see it live and online. It is best of 7. In case you don't know how BOs work, well, welcome to it. We're going to go to a minimum 4 games. Shock Rifle into the hands of Karate Jojo as we're playing some oddball. It's going to be some 3 rounds to figure out how the pace of this game is going to go.
Yeah, I think it's very important to keep Fisher on the back foot, prevent them from being able to do what they do best, which is clean up house 24/7. You may think that they are janitors, but they're actually clean sweepers. You know, they're sweeping these streets.
Ooh, trying to keep these streets safe and clean. Might as well call them the police because they're making sure the kids got a curfew. But Cody Ruboy and company, they've definitely been fighting over top gold, trying to own this early Slayer. This is exactly where you want to try and force these spawns out. They're trying to own top gold into red pipes and get much of this ball, or rather their opponent, to be stuck into that blue hallway. So, nice double kill picked up by Alvi off their second life, 6 and 1.
Yeah, I mean, that just watching that POV there for a few seconds, he looked like a Terminator. Just smooth, calm shots, nothing panicky, no whips around or anything like that. 2 go down from the University of Utah. Fisher's going to have their first chance to get some meaningful ball time. Mike 120 tries to send a plasma grenade out towards Hunnit. Hunnit takes him down, though, gets cleaned up very quickly by Karate Ruboy. Sorry, not Karate Ruboy. What am I reading? Cody Ruboy. But they do have to play the ball, so it's really just a game of a second, actually, at ball time.
Does that mean if it's Karate Ruboy, it'd be Cody Jojo? Cody Jojo sounds like a heck of a gamer.
That's what I'm
upgrade.
saying.
Yeah, Cody Jojo. Maybe think about taking that one up. But we have 2 and 1. Not a lot of points, not a lot of ball time, and not a lot of handles between these squads until this point in time. You're seeing Fisher. Often we get these teams, they go into that long haul position. They make it into basically a long password that you got to solve. This time around, they're going to sequester themselves much more towards elevator.
As they make they try to make a push inside of elevator. It will be Mike 120 is the first casualty of a well-placed plasma grenade at that entrance, takes him down as well. Hunnit going to take over that bottom elevator spot, and they're going to be looking to catch some people trying to cross from long haul over towards batteries. But before he does so, Cody Rubo is going to say hello and hits him with 1 and 2. Follow up with that bandit, also putting some shots onto, I believe that is going to be Maysky himself, takes him down as well, gets himself a shock collar medal as well for his troubles, and maybe the Utes will finally get some ball time.
Good old Cody Ruboy. I talked to him in the break. I get to see a lot of these players talking to one another, and this one was all about, hey, where do you want to go? He's like, I want to go to Germany, and I want to maybe in a future tense in a different type of game, I want to play some CS. So he's trying to show us some precision as Utah continues to contend and contempt here into elevator. But of the 3 players that were there, it was a 2-man wipeout out of Fisher. So Utah surrenders too much space even after they get some time.
Surrendering a bunch of space, but Cody Ruboy, the man that you said he wanted to show what precision he has. He had Camel for a little bit, got shut down very quickly by Fisher, but now Brace in a 1v1 against Karate Jojo, but those karate moves are not going to be enough to take him down. Now it's up to Henry to finish him off, and Lonzy will do so. Brace goes down, and the ball once again ticking towards the favor of these Utah boys, but what are we doing? Mike 120, he is trying to do a 360 crazy no-scope. If he forgot, he is missing 240 degrees from that 360.
That's unfortunate. I feel like Cody Ruboy got themselves the worst part of that hitbox deal because they did land at least a half shot off the shoulder for the shock rifle, so not exactly an immediate perfect or anything. I thought they were going to get a back tap from that shoulder, so unfortunate for them because they definitely in a good position to be able to take advantage of that. Maysky is now handed this electric cowboy as they're trying to be able to continue to throw this one down.
Looking like a Marvel character with his shock rifle, sending out lightning into the faces of the Utes, but they found the perfect counter, which is to close that distance and throw some elbows. Lightning, it's been confirmed actually that lightning is not as strong as elbows.
Are you sure?
Well, at close range.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. And combine the two. You get electric elbows.
Imagine having an electric elbow. But as we do see Alvi finding out the hard way that Cody Ruboy's elbows go quite strong, snapping his spine in 2. Cody Ruboy taking a bunch of damage from Fisher College, unfortunately. Maysky goes down from Mike 120. A little bit of redemption for him. We love to see that. But also we see Hunnit I mean, he got a lot of attention there, but Karate Jojo, he's moving this ball away from gold.
Bust out the wheelchairs. They're turning these guys into Christopher Reeves repeats. They're just continuing to just throw them off the bench. And now you get Utah running that long haul, forcing this one to be in chase. You get a good performance right now out of Alvi, but as we're online with Lanzi, completely different beast than he was into the previous matchup against UNA. As we tried to be able to at least keep pace with them, they don't get the reset. That one a little unwise, even with the lead right now from out of Utah.
Yeah, I think Lanzi really should have played the ball there instead of trying to go for the double melee beatdown, because he was down a couple of shots already prior to going for that challenge, and unfortunately he gets taken down now. Alvi going to find himself and scoop up and plant that camo into his armor, and he's going to go silent for a little bit, but immediately hunted down, sniffed out, and taken down by Utah. So great job managing that power-up away from Fisher College.
Ooh, missing a few of those too many shots. Karate Jojo not looking like they were at the other side of that Empyrean match. And unfortunately for them, that means that there's going to be some extra control held by the Falcons. They're going to make this one tough from out of control room. That nade actually will splash back against their teammate, so Cody Ruboy and company at least roll in. But this is rolling in the opposite direction as they're playing keep away. This ball is now at least under track and under the hunt of the Utes. Utah knows that they have them kind of narrowed down up into upper glass, but Maysky is welcoming the fight.
Yeah, Maysky having a little bit of a quieter game compared to earlier in this tournament. It's actually Alvi who's been popping off quite hugely for Fisher College. And these Falcons, they still got talents as sharp as knives. However, we are seeing a little bit of power coming out of these Utah Utes, and we like to see that, especially in our winners finals.
Gotta be consistent. Remember, this is a 3-round rush. You got 40 seconds approaching. Probably going to be hitting neutral time. Don't have to really worry about going all the way up to 100 unless you're able to just make a long stretch of it with a couple of team fights. This is going to be a tough one because this is the toughest spawn to have to be able to basically break in to get into top gold. And they already go low. A trade is going to be very positive for Alvi, but still, Fisher's seeing this one being catch-up time in favor of the Utes. They do invade. Cody Ruboy, the only one left standing. Can they be able to get a pop out that nade? They do. Nice reversal.
What a great grenade on Hunnit, and he's also playing his life very, very well. Gets his full shields back, but 30 seconds and counting is all that's left in this round number 1. Can't quite grab onto Bat Ledge. Unfortunately, his arms are a little bit too small, but it will be the Utes who are going to try and sneak away with this ball. Cody Ruboy dancing around this window very well, but Maysky getting a trade there, that's going to be pretty good for Fisher College, but 20 seconds and counting. University of Utah are running out of time to hold on to this ball. They need to hold on to this ball and not let go.
Don't get baited. They see one first contact, going to run this into long haul. You just need to be able to get 2 seconds. They do get it. They should be able to just play ball. They bring it up to top gold. Will this be able to put them down? It's going to be Utah that hangs on to neutral timer. They've decided they're just going to hang on, play for crossfire, but is that going to be able to be something that actually makes them regret what they did? They've got a bunch of blue Falcons flying at them. They miss on the first melee. The second one comes through for Whirlpool, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. You bring that ball to top gold, suddenly you give Fisher a chance to catch up and take over this round.
Yeah, and Cody Ruboy getting caught out in Whirlpool with the camo as well. Gets taken down, goes down as well. Unfortunate situation for the Utah Utes to be here. I think they're going to lose with 1 second of ball time separating these two teams, and they will. Yeah. A strong hold from Fisher Falcons, but you do have to kind of have a couple of question marks from Lonzi, our MVP from last series, just unfortunately holding on to the ball a little bit too long inside of goal steps, giving Fisher Falcons that opportunity to win round 1.
Different beast, different situation. Lanzi knows that this one is a completely different pedigree than what they were doing with UNA, and that one was just a bad play call idea. They had brought it over to goal. They definitely wanted to get it away from the Falcons from off of that long haul. They know they were being squeezed. As soon as you got that one all juiced up and got a couple of seconds, they started seeing stars in their eyes to get up to 100. Instead, toss that one out. Play ball to the middle of the pit. Force that one to become a Slayer and play more to the 50-50 because they just gave too much of a defensive position over to Fisher.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit too desperate of a play there from the Utah Utes, and a little uncharacteristic potentially as well for a team like the Utes from what we've seen last time around. However, this is a technical rematch, you know, from game 1, from the first game of the entire day, and it's oddball once again, just a slightly different map, but I think this is the first time that the Fisher Falcons have been able to grab a camo.
Got at least one. Now we get extra points as we play much more to top gold. They're going to start to invade from off of that shock rifle side. So the lone Ute that end up defending for all of that moment ends up going down. Now you have a crash of the boards as they come in through red pipes. Can they be able to escape? I think that's the biggest thing. They've been able to at least toss this one out from top batteries, and I think looking to kind of maybe rotate it from elevator, they're like, no way. There's just too much pressure coming from out of Fisher. So they throw this one back batteries, and Karate JoJo's like, hey, we're going to build some more time off this one. We may actually rotate away.
I love the movement from Karate JoJo. He is absolutely using and abusing that G-slide tech that you see so much at high-level Halo. And when you see it happening in real time, it's definitely very satisfying to see. Hunnit is going to potentially escape with his life as well, and he is going to stay in this back gold area. Nobody knows where he is. Karate JoJo actually retreating all the way to gold steps and instead of trying to finish off Hunnit, and Hunnit gets his whole shields back. He's going to reach out. Karate JoJo takes him down as well, takes a bunch of damage, and eventually falls that trippy box, but he lived a little bit too long behind the front line of the Utes.
This is a great reset for Utah. And remember, last time we had an oddball match between them and the Falcons, it went all the way to a round number 3, and their second round was the one that they had won over on live fire. So they're trying to repeat some of that same contesting that they got from them. Looking for some remote deaths and just a little bit timely as Alvi swung on through. Continues to be the kill leader here for the Falcons at 22 and 14, 11 assists. Really just spreading the love and spreading the damage. And Utah now is chasing tail as this one becomes a battle of Fortress, at least to the top side of that window.
Yeah, the Utes had an early lead, but is now completely gone as Fisher Falcons find themselves taking the lead in this oddball round number 2. And I wonder, because we both know just how loud the Fisher Falcons can actually be. The mental warfare that this team puts on display is absolutely tough to deal with for some teams who are just not quite used to what they're saying. But Mike 120, is he going to get the overkill live on camera? No! If I had just kept talking earlier and not saying anything about the overkill, he probably could have done it. Caster curse, that's my bad, Mike.
It's okay. It's all right. He'll look back on this one and be like, all right, I owe Revanite something, I guess. Karate JoJo and company. They do regain control, and they regain the lead, all by a point. That one's stuck in top glass, so there's going to be a lot of Slayer that starts permeating through the next few seconds as they go from underneath into the stairwell and then up into long haul again. You see the majority of the Utes are over towards that control room. They want to bring this one back into gold and otherwise. They do at least toss it out into that upper platform, and you get Fisher kind of taking on this long slant of this 90-degree area. You get a shock rifle for Alvi. They know the hot hand is with Alvi, but they're going to rotate away as they see numbers coming at them from the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, and they will get collapsed upon. It is so much damage Fisher Falcons have taken inside a long haul. Karate JoJo takes a grenade to the side of the face and loses his entire shields, but 4 go down for the Utes. So I thought that was going to be a lot worse for the Fisher Falcons, but somehow, some way, they actually make the impossible possible.
Unfortunately, I think one of those was actually a self-nade situation, so they kind of end up bombing themselves out of that other side of nade spawn. And there's just a lot of nothing here from Whirlpool. So Karate JoJo can't quite win that fight, and taking over that same kill spread as everyone is getting involved from Fisher Falcons is braced. And then here comes the impact. That ball gets played from the backside of Hydro as Alvi continues to run it on up. So Utah, they played for the ball. They've got 20 seconds forthcoming off of this camo near side. Oh, man. There's a Ute right nearby. They end up at least trading each other out. Half strength for Fisher, same for Utah.
2 versus 2. Which team is going to come ahead? Hunnit is trapped beside back batteries, but nobody wants to toss a grenade at him just yet. Brace is going for the flank over towards back Hydro. He gets spotted out at bottom tower. Now here comes the collapse. They need to take down Brace before they really try to look to put pressure on the other side of the map. But this is so well played by Brace. He gets behind every single member of the Utes. They fall apart. They get taken down. And man, oh man, Brace was that explosion in that defense and just ripped them apart.
Everyone from Fisher really just can be the worst thorn in your side. And University of Utah now is running out of options, and they're running out of time to be able to stop them. One solid team wipe, and this is going to be over. That one ends up being a play ball situation. So they got pressured from out of blue pipes. Going to toss that one back over into the spawn of batteries. Can Utah be able to just take some semblance of control? Less than 2 minutes to go. Fisher is going to be at least down Maysky, who has been a mainstay forever. Looking for the old 7-time to add to the old trophy case. Karate JoJo and company feels like they're just sending themselves in one at a time. That's not what you want to do.
Yeah, I think they're just playing a little bit too desperate at the moment. They can feel the pressure that Fisher is putting on them as this game is rapidly coming to an end. 95 seconds and counting, and I don't think anybody from the U's are going to be able to put a stop to this one. This is going to be Fisher's game, and it will be all done and over as we see Hunnit once again letting us know that he's an aficionado when it comes to tea and different kinds of tea. You got your London Fogs, your chai latte. Well, no, chai latte is more of like a milk tea,
I feel like
guess.
you're an aficionado of tea.
I've actually decided that I'm going to try and drink more tea more often. It's a little bit better for antibiotics and your body system as a whole. I sound crazy, actually.
No,
I'm going to stop
there's
talking
people that
about
love
it.
tea. You can love tea. I just don't know tea.
It's not bad.
I got
actually.
sweet tea and Arizona green tea. That's all I got. Okay. With streets just around the corner, there's not going to be any major power weapons. You got a red gun. I don't know how you feel about the red gun.
I think in the right hands, the stalker rifle can actually just completely wreck in the damage department.
It can.
It's like it's a 3-shot perfect. 2 shots will rip away your shield. So honestly, it's not a weapon that I think players should necessarily be sleeping on. It is in a rather rough spot though, that red hot spot, and if you get caught out with like a single grenade in that hut, you have nowhere else really to go trying to get your shields back. You can either like risk it going driveway back to subway, or you can try to play more towards arcade. Neither option is exactly ideal, but we're going to start with the POV of Cody Ruboy as Utah look to try to bounce back from that game 1.
We go to game numero dos. Utah knows that they have been able to at least meet pace with the Falcons in their oddball games. So far, with their Slayer on the day, against them, didn't go exactly to plan. Couple of shots already into a weak player. Hunnit has been pumping out the numbers, the damage, and has been making Spartans die. Camo might, in fact, be there as they're going to try and zone him out with a nade. He gets repulsed, but that simply gives him time to be able to go big ol' invis.
I mean, you asked earlier, is the stalker rifle a good weapon to pick up or not? But I'm telling you, Hunnit just showed you exactly why you should pick it up.
Yeah.
It is an absolute monster when it comes to just dishing out tons and tons of damage. You don't need to get the 3-shot perfect every single time, but if you can put out a ton of damage and make shield people 1-shot or break their shields and make them like 2 shots or something like that, it's still a fantastic option to pick up and should be something that you try to hunt down and use, and Hunnit's just putting it on display for everybody to see.
Hunnit is hunting as he knows what the spawns are going to come through after getting over into this PD side. He's able to hear the footsteps. Someone's just off corridor, and they can't quite seclude him, but it doesn't need to. In fact, he's going to find yet another one off of First Life. Hunnit has 7, and Utah is now down by double digits.
Yeah, I'd like to stay on the POV of Hunnit just a little bit longer because he is working his way towards a killing frenzy. It'd be nice to see if we can curse him or something like that. I don't know. We're going for the cursing over here at the desk. I just want to. I would love to see Fisher drop 1 game this tournament. Okay, so far they've not even dropped a single game.
Even more bias. I can't believe.
Come on, do you want
BUY biased?
Do you want this tournament to be a little exciting or what? And I'm telling you, if Fisher drop, I mean, of course it's exciting. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is it could be even more, that little extra pizzazz, to add a little flavor to the tournament.
Here's exciting. We've been able to at least cut into that lead. So we're just down by 8. Mike 120 definitely shows up for his team when they absolutely need him. And right now, Cody Ruboy and Karate Jojo have big donuts. That's a Cody Ruboy that puts a breadstick into that slot. Now they're just down by 6. So they're slowly grinding away at what was a lead by Fisher as they finally get rid of that stalker rifle. Next camo online. It gets used up. They walk on by the benches. Cody Ruboy is an unbusted ghost.
Yeah, Mike 120 is coming online for the University of Utah with 12 kills, 5 deaths. He's doing exactly what he can to try and bring everybody back. Karate Jojo gets his first, preventing that disastrous goose egg that we hate to see from, in Halo. And he gets himself 2, actually. So a good bounce back from Karate Jojo. We could be seeing signs of life absolutely from the Utah Utes.
So as signs of life and a pulse is coming in, let's talk to the doctors over at Fisher Falcons, and let's see how they're dealing with it as their patient is trying to scramble on the table.
I'm up into.
I'm walking tires now.
Yeah, he's fucking tires in. There's tires in.
I'm going driveway right now.
I got one. I'm trying to lift.
I got
one
one.
shot. One shot tires.
Two tires. 1 shot. One more.
One top out of me, going ET.
These plants. Back to tires. Tires. Did we kill tires?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Spawning PD.
Are you coming?
I heard you. I might
Weak
spawn
tire.
up with you, Braze.
Weak green gen, weak green gen.
Yeah, I can place
And
it.
back
Caution.
A, back A.
Caution, one shot.
Alright.
Caution, one
I'm
shot.
flying with you, Aiden. Let's go.
Got one.
Nice. I got your help.
One shot, one
I'll-
shot, one shot, one shot on the
Shit.
shroud, one shot on the shroud. He might go bottom mid.
He's PD weak. He's pretty good.
No, one
PD.
shot. Absolute
Back
benches.
PD. Back PD going hollow. Hollow.
Absolute
Alright,
benches.
Nice one shot. Nice shit. 2v3. Agent, please.
Right.
I got damage. There's two on me. They're gonna run at me, bro.
Two there, two there, two
I'm
there.
saying it's
One
wrong.
more mid, one more mid. Bottom A.
Bottom A weak. Bottom A weak.
Two bottom A.
Two of them. You
Two
can
one
need
shots
I
to-
got
bottom
your
A.
damage.
I naded it.
Good. One more back A.
Cafe,
bro.
cafe, green gen, one shot.
Let's
Yo,
go,
back
baby.
A weak, Cody.
One shot back A.
I might die here, Loki.
Yo, Al, give me 2 seconds. I'm with you, okay?
Alright.
I got
Purple.
shots.
Purple one shot.
One shot, Saudi.
Three purple.
Yeah. Bait it.
I love listening to the comms from Fisher. You know, it's calm, it's calculated. Sure, they had their little pop-off moments as we heard Brace gets a perfect 5 on a Utah player. So love to see the passion out of the boys. But we have gotten this game extremely close. These Utes, you know, they were down like 6-7 kills, I want to say. There we go. I did the meme. I'm so sorry, guys. Don't worry about it. But we are still here at this game, and we do see that they are trying their hardest to keep it competitive against Fisher Falcons.
Mike 120 had 16, 6, and 9. He's been able to not only do so, but do so by force. And really, Cody, Rude Boy, and Karate Jojo, who both go down in sequence, finding 15 kills after being at zeros through their first 7 or 8 combined lives between them. Fisher Falcons, you see them and you hear them get a lot quieter when things get a lot more serious. It's within 1 kill. This game has slowed down to all of a crawl. You're finding a lot more mid-contention. They don't quite have the camo up online, but you do have Alvi that has made themselves a little bit more scarce. They're trying to play a lot more for life. Camo has now gone over to Maysky, and though he hasn't really shown up, Hunted really has.
Yeah, I think Maysky is just kind of taking up more of a supportive role for the rest of his team because Hunted's been absolutely going bananas. 20-8 so far with 6 assists. And Maysky with this camo, you know, he played really aggressively, high-risk play to try to get this camo, but he was able to get the reward of securing it. And now Fisher Falcons, they are 2 kills away from bringing us to a 2-0 scoreline in this best of 7. So we're going to stay on the POV of Maysky until he either dies or this camo runs out, one of the two, because we could be seeing the end of the Utah Utes, and there it is. A good cleanup from Maysky to secure the W and the win. 50-42 is your scoreline, and Fisher Falcons dig up 2-0 in the series.
20-8 out of Hunted with 10 assists. This was all of 1 kill away for a good solid minute, but that minute became just so many short seconds in favor of the Falcons. And I mean, we talk about the chippiness. We talk about how they like to kind of get in the heads of their opponents, talking over the line, as it were, of these monitors with their opponents. You hear that a lot from Maysky because Maysky ends up, I mean, he's a psychology major and he's now doing behavioral analysis. He loves to yell at people, and not just because it gives them like a reason to be maybe positively toxic.
Do you think he's using it like a research
Oh,
thesis or something?
absolutely. Well, maybe not so much that, but he definitely knows, like, you know what? I'm going to try and get you uneven, undisciplined, and see if that rattles you. But he still realizes his team, half of them are freshmen. So,
Yes, they
like, this is their first LAN. So, making sure to be that leader. Even if he's not going to be the kill leader, he's going to let Hunted take that job, and then he's otherwise just going to be able to chill out and help them really rise from the bottom.
In order for the Utes to have any chance at all, Mike 120 is going to need a little bit from his teammate on the other side in Lanzi.
I see Lanzi maybe having that chance to step up here. Origin for CTF, it's not immediately out and over, but it definitely has a crafted, all right, this can be fast. Now, the good news, Lanzi, remember I was asking everyone like the favorite places they want to be able to visit, maybe other games they want to play. He says he would love to play some Apex, and that game's all about being quick, especially being able to navigate a large map. Origin can be deceptively ginormous, but it's also immediately symmetrical. Where do you tackle first? Will they be able to get over to some rocks? Do we hit that big boomstick? Do the Utes take over the toys, or does Fisher Falcons win the initial skirmish? We go to game number 3. Is it match point for Falcons, or do we bite back out of the Utes?
I'm hoping to see just a little bit more live from our Utah Utes. I mean, you're in the winners finals for a reason. You have to show everybody that you deserve to be here. You cannot make it super easy for Fisher to be able to do whatever they want. But as they go for dead, it looks like Fisher Falcons are just that freaking good.
I think they can do whatever they want.
They can just have their way with you, and you can't say anything about it.
That's not what I would say.
There is no such thing as consent with the Fisher Falcons.
Oh, we move on. We go over to the next table. We go over to blue, and that's going to be first cap picked up already. It took about 38 seconds and more than that, and Mayski is already working on the next one. University of Utah with a lot of options, but several of them have already been dictated by the Falcons. Second flag, back-to-back hunted, finally gets stopped at the door.
Yeah, the Fisher Falcons, they're not going to get away with 2 flags just yet. The Utah Utes finally finding a little bit of momentum when it comes to playing defense, but as Mayski gets a perfect on 1, he's still not quite done here yet. He's going to try and re-challenge. He's going to try to get his shields back, but no! A grenade from Karate Jojo going to take him down. They get the return, and things are set back all square.
Finally, that one actually slows the Falcons. They had to be able to at least get some crossfire, but their shields were just kind of running out of chances to catch up with the Mjolnir as it was going faster. This has been rock and roll. They are playing a concert in the back base of Utah. Mike 120 is going to put this one back on the table. Got to watch out because as that timer goes faster, that actually gives away a position. Mayski doesn't recognize that someone's popping over, and Mike 120 gains airtime and a kill.
Yeah, a little alley-oop from Mike 120 taking down Mayski before he can get his shields back and abuse that flank that he was trying to go for. But it will be a couple of dead for Fisher Falcons, and University of Utah, they are looking to make a push into the Fisher base. But Mayski and the rest of his team, they're going to stay strong. They're going to stay alive. Brace with the sniper rifle over in Rocket Side is going to try and cover his team as best they can, and all the Utes go down. So we are once again back to the beginning.
This is a tough position to take away from Brace. He actually has that low wall, and so he can kind of go into a half crouch, but it's also tough to take advantage of. He had all of a single bullet, and Utah wants to be able to set up for at least some cross mapping. That is tough. It's a difficult, punishable situation. You got to have much of that POV. They tried to run in. That's going to be 3 dead. Alvy's going to go back from whence he came, sliding on out, and that's an easy exit lane because all the Utes were in the bin for just a little bit too long.
Yeah, and they're getting the flag moving across the 50-yard line, and they're going to try to keep it moving a little bit more as well. But the Utes, they're taking out 1, they're taking out 2, but the respawns are coming online for the Fisher Falcons, and they do grab the flag, but it gets returned by the Utes, so a great job by them. Lonzy getting a perfect 5 on Hunt. It looks like Lonzy's finally starting to come alive a little bit.
We got some rocks. Okay, rocks into the hand of the Utes.
Yummy rocks.
You're going to go over to that low-sided ditch, and it looks like they've actually been able to clear out what was left of NES 7 progress. So 3 dead. Fisher's going to be at home. That one doesn't do too much. You're going to be able to at least get 1 kill. They cannot recognize that someone is just off angle from where Lanzy is. You have Braced in front of you. You have a man behind you. You're stuck between a rock and a dead place. They at least get him from off of the grave. So that flag has been moved out. Can Mike 120 move it any further? He's actually trying to use that thruster to gain some distance off of a long throw.
Nice hit body shot from Cody Ruboy. Taking out his shields with Mayski being so annoying with that carbine. Alvy's going to get the kill grade, a cleanup kill for that one. Karate Jojo, he couldn't dodge that last bullet. Hunt going to finish him off. And Lonzy trying to stay alive inside a blue maze will not do so, but that flag is moving once again. It could be 2-0 in just a few seconds.
See anything be able to pick that one up? And they do. Plant the flag. All right. 1 flag away. Only what? 4 minutes in here to game number 3. Mike 120 and company have at least sniffed at Falcon territory. But that nest is well defended. They get 1 solid pump and dump over into Mayski as they are able to jump him straight into the stomach. So 1 good melee deserves another. They've got a couple of these guys coming in, trying to fly backwards. They get a killjoy. So as they throw them around, this is Utah at least presenting a defense. But Fisher Falcons, they can burn a lot of time here.
Yeah, Fisher Falcons really don't need to grab and plant this flag, but they are still trying to end this game very quickly. They want to get to match point as quickly as they possibly can against these Utah Utes. And Utah, you know, they're not going down without a fight, which is all credit to them. However, they would absolutely love to be able to push out of their base, but Fisher's just keeping them there forever.
They had 2 players back there. Both had different ideas. One thought to bring it forward towards Rockside, the other one towards Pyramid. Neither one was able to survive, so Fisher's attempts kind of just end up delaying Utah from being able to rotate out. Oh, good counter melee from out of Hunted. Eventually, the disrespect kind of goes away. They're at 13-8 right now, and Some big pickups have otherwise occurred. Mayski is hiding. It's such a tough spot, especially as soon as someone goes up just above benches, because they can start poking at you, and they do have that crossfire setup. But for all of the decoy they were, Utah really has not been able to move out.
Yeah, Mike 120 getting a better Mayski there. He's going to get one singular rocket into tubes left to play with. Will it be enough to make something happen for the Utes? He hears the audio cue that the Fisher Falcons are moving towards flag. One rocket goes in, but doesn't really touch Hunnit. Hunnit going to actually stay alive instead. He's going to try to make his way over towards red window, and he's going to get behind the Utes once again. This has got to be very frustrating for the Utes.
They continue to just get spawn trapped. They also just get cycled. There is the flag right in front of Lanzi. He's in deep enemy territory. He's forced them to reset from out of cave. And with half strength, Fisher trying to at least narrow the gap right now. University of Utah has just been stuck at poking from outside of the nest. They get rid of one. They have a couple over on Brace side towards that outside end of ramp. Couldn't they be able to turn this flag out? They toss it towards them. That's going to have to be a call point that they actually give to a much more healthy Spartan as they start to rotate this one from other end of ditch.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful with the cross. Mike 120 taking down Hunnit. Cody Ruboy taking down Alvi as well. Another member goes down, but Mayski, who other than Mayski, is going to grab the flag, but it's a little bit too late. Utah finally get their first score, 5.5 minutes left in the game.
Is there enough time? It's taken them, 6.5 minutes to get themselves onto the board. A couple of quick caps back-to-back from out of Fisher. Now, there was some time and delay, but it felt like they were consistently cycling these spawns. Utah, couple of trades. As long as they keep this one even, they at least give themselves chances to respond.
I mean, it's going to be a battle of inches, but sometimes with an inch you can take a mile. You know how the saying goes. And honestly, that's what the Utes really need to try to get a little bit of momentum. If they can chip away at Fisher enough, they might be able to force a couple of risky plays that they can capitalize on and turn that into a possible flag cap to tie up the game. And as the game progressively gets longer and longer and longer, we might see a situation where the Utes might actually find themselves in a flow state.
They're actually starting to exhaust the Falcons just a little bit, forcing them to take all of those silly comedic antics and taking it back home. Every time they get reset, Utah is in fact gaining that little inch, that little centimeter to be able to move across the midline of this map, and you can definitely tell that whenever you look at Origin, but they also have to take advantage of the moment. Fisher kind of splashes onto the rocks onto the front face of their fortress, and then they get caught. Now you actually have to be able to get that melee. Oh, the double kill from out of Brace. That's going to be a flagpole. I don't think they're going to be there to stop it.
Yeah, Alonzi was the first spawner there. He probably should have played a little bit more aggressively towards the overextension, but instead he tries to go for the defensive play. He gets taken down. Cody Ruboy, he's looking the wrong way. That flag does get stopped for a brief moment. Mike 120 is there, but they need to take down this player over side of Blue Maze. The melee is a blank, but it's going to be all right because Karate Jojo has that mouse and keyboard movement, but it's not going to be enough. 3-1, and Fisher Falcons find themselves on match point.
It was really never out of control for Fisher. It was just about how many times can they just cycle run through the slaying on back base from Utah. So at 3-0 at this point, you kind of feel like we're in a little bit too familiar of a situation for Utah having to deal with Fisher. Now, the difference is, I mean, you got 3-0'd earlier. Well, now it's to be a 4-0. To be able to get past you. That is solid news and all of a copious state that you could be able to talk about it because, okay, we still have another game. This is exactly why BO7s exist.
Yeah, I mean, it's not over for them yet, but this is potentially the last game we're going to see at the Winter Finals Series. So a lot of uphill battle to climb through for University of Utah. Yeah. However, we saw some pretty good signs of life from them that last game, so I'm a little confident that they might be able to take a game potentially, or at least make it very close and interesting before we potentially wave goodbye to the Winners Finals, and we'll have that rematch between North Alabama and the University of Utah potentially. You guys can't see it, but I actually, while we wait for the game to show up, big shout out to the College Hater production team because our setup is sick. We got lights, we got 2 different TVs, one for the stream, one for the gameplay. We have an awesome camera so that you guys can see us in high definition as well, so you can see just the terrible smile lines that I got on my face.
Oh man!
And also, like, the Kish and Dog Bear have been, aka Eder, have been absolutely amazing on production. So
I love it. This weekend has really been adaptable, and they've had so much to learn, and they've been able to learn it in lightning speed. We go to game number 4. The production is going to put all this in your face as we're going to share this space with some awesome players as they try to kick it off here at Lattice.
Lattice, lettuce, it's a vegetable, or it's a name of a Halo map. Depending on who you are, it's both. But Hunnit, looking to try to make things happen with this F7, gets shut down. So far, a good opening round from the University of Utah. An easy no-scope as well. Nice body shot as well. Ooh. He finishes off the kill, and Henry, a.k.a. Lonzy, he's come alive. But just as I start giving him praise, he gets shut down by Maceski.
Hey, look, 6 kills off first rip is fantastic. More than half of this first hill is already under threat of being picked up right in front of the faces of the Falcons. As they try to be able to take over, they get window. They go from straight out of from side of sewer, so they do at least provide some defense. Now they know where they've sequestered the majority of these spawns. It's going to be topside blue, and then they actually have this S7, but that's going to be a counter.
There we go.
That QT's laying on the floor. They're going to be able to pick that one up and maybe give themselves a safety line to head back to this hill.
A cutie, you say?
Oh, I do.
Oh, I wonder how cutie is this cutie, huh? But Lonzy has not decided to use the cutie equipment just yet. He's instead going to take an aggressive position in top mid. He's hearing the calls from the rest of his team, but he does not see anybody, and all of Fisher College has gotten right behind him, unfortunately, and the hill player goes down.
Oh, that's going to be a big miss. Unfortunate for him because they might have been able to at least thin out the herd. Fisher Falcons are going to have to play this one much more in control. You get basically one solid team fight from out of Utah. They'll be able to at least get back to this hill. But Falcons are gaining a lot of ground. They've unaccounted for with Maceski. Maceski's trying to control this rafter position, and I feel like this is about to be stolen. Falcons started from behind. First hill is going to be flipped. It goes right back over to Fisher, and Utah sees it slip from their grasp.
Very disappointing start for the University of Utah. I think they would have gotten into the right momentum had they been able to secure that hill. It was theirs almost from start to finish, but Fisher College, man, I mean, they are exactly the kind of team that when you feel comfortable, when you feel good, they're going to turn off the lights and they're going to show you just how scary the dark is.
Well, we're going to be prepping into this one. You know what? Sometimes when it comes to getting a lot of these separate strats, they've gone over towards Big Door. I want to know what the Utah Utes are actually prepping, and as we go into a listen, and let's hear what Utah is strategizing for hill number 2.
They're wrapping the Big Door.
They're going ice.
Nice. One dead.
They bought one bottom tower. Maceski's bottom tower.
I spawned blue.
Side 710. Nice, good shit.
Go for side.
Cargo right now.
Slow down, one shot. One. He's probably big door.
Two. Back red. There's 2 in there. One more. There's gonna be 2 in there. Two.
Yeah,
3. Just look.
Window.
Oh my
Nice.
shit.
Good shit, Ray.
I'm spawning up cargo.
No, I missed. They're both weak. Going out for red.
Red.
Nice, they yellow sniper now.
Top red.
Nice.
Top red.
QT's up in 25.
Yeah, I got this.
Nice, good shit.
Ice.
Hurt ice. What? 2 top?
I'm gonna chop from like top of.
Good strats, good comms, good call outs by all the squad from out of Utah. Looks like that one paid off in big ways. They were able to recognize the stretch play, especially that we're getting out of Mike 120. He's asking for some assistance, and he's able to slam this one on home. Fisher Falcons getting called out as they try to wrap that one from ice.
Yeah, Mike 120, it took a little bit for him to wake up, but coming off of the plays from Lonzy as well, like you could hear in the comms that Lonzy, like he is focused, you know, he's trying his hardest to put the Utes back into this game, and I love to hear it from the Utah Utes. And I think when these two players are playing at their best, along like with Cody Ruboy and Karate Jojo as well, when they're in there helping each other out, when they're playing as a team, these Utes look really, really strong, and they can absolutely take down giants.
Might be able to be giant slayers. David was able to do it with a slingshot. Maybe can do it with a 50 cal right now. Mike 120 is the lone survivor. He's going to use up every single bullet. It will be an omnipotent threat, at least existent to that moment, but it feels like Fisher might be able to finish this one out. The 4th hill is one of the toughest. The good news, it doesn't decide anything this time around because Utah was able to take hill number 2, so they can at least kind of splash against the rocks a few times as Fisher does turn this into a 2-1 situation, and they're hoping to reset these spawns, but because they were diving deep towards low side ice, a nice remote det, they actually leave this one open to interpretation.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking promising for the Utah Utes, but it's almost like they woke a sleeping giant of some kind, and Fisher Falcons have clapped back in this third hill. So now they are trying to take their fourth hill. They're trying to take the fourth hill to be their third point in this King of the Hill game. You know, math is hard.
It do be.
It's so complicated.
Good old algebra or arithmetic, whichever one.
Geometry.
I don't know gang signs. So as we go into this one, as we go into hill number 4, it's going to be finished off very fast. We talk about this one being difficult. They actually delay it for all of a half second as they try and prep out. But it does look like that we actually go into a soft set moment. Did someone
disconnect? What?
Because it's supposed to be 4.
It is supposed to be 4.
It's supposed to be 4. Okay, we're going to chill for a second while we figure out this one. So it goes 3-1. Don't exactly know why that one ended up ending out. So we'll find out in all of a second. But it was 3-1.
Yeah.
The next hill was going to be crates.
Cargo.
For whatever reset this is, everyone seems a little confused. There's a conversation happening.
We're confused.
Yeah,
everybody's confused.
I mean, we are confused. And I'm looking at like the cam for the teams, and they're kind of like having a conversation. As like Alvy and Cody are just like, okay, what's up? And the coaches are talking to each other.
Yeah.
So regardless, when you do these resets on these maps, no matter what, you have to start from initial hill spawn. So we won't get a chance to look at crates.
We won't.
It's 3-1 Fisher.
Yes, it is.
And so we will have to start with ice.
Yes.
So no, there's not a world we can see crates because we start with 4.
We cannot force hill locations in King of the Hill.
No, but what I mean is like we won't even have enough hills to get all the way back around it because we'll start 3-1.
Correct.
At most we can get 3 more hills.
At best.
Yeah. So it'd be ice, big door, and
that would
Ben 10.
put the Utes and Fisher tied.
Yeah.
So the last hill would be Crystal.
Ben 10.
Ben 10.
Ben 10.
What's your favorite Ben 10 form?
Oh, I like the nerd. What's that one? The like super smart alien. The little little guy. Yeah.
I like the really big one.
The red one?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
What about the crystal? What do you think about him?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, Ben 10 started at the same time as Danny Phantom, and when I figured out that Danny Phantom was a show, then I started watching Danny Phantom.
We need to have a conversation about that because Danny Phantom was awesome and peak until they slapped the stupid logo on his chest and made it that D. It was so dumb. Yeah, like
they didn't need it.
No, no.
It was a good outfit.
Like they even had a whole look. I could have a very spirited conversation about that. I am a big cartoon guy. Okay.
What's your favorite cartoon?
Hey Arnold. That's where my name comes from. Monkey Man.
Oh, that makes sense.
Nah, no one knows that. It's okay.
No. I know. Hey Arnold. I'm just trying to remember like the particular scene where HailMonkeyMan was.
Yeah, it was his name was Monkey Man.
Yeah.
He was voiced by Andy Dick, which like back in the day, I think he was doing stuff for like Biodome and stuff. But yeah, like he had 2 episodes. One where you randomly saw the guy, and the other one where he saved Sid's beetle boots. I think it was. This is lore, by the way. You're welcome. This is for free. And then
things you don't learn anywhere else but College Halo
and 90s cartoons. But yeah, so yeah, that was one of my favorite cartoons of all time. Also because Arnold had like one of the greatest rooms of all time in a boarding house with his grandparents. Hype. And then he saw his parents in the jungle after they were delivering. Look, I'm not gonna go on. Okay.
Look, I like knee slapping humor quite a bit when I was a kid growing up. So Ed, and Eddie was my favorite.
Okay, Ed, and Eddie is solid.
I never missed an episode of Ed, and Eddie.
Did you ever watch the old actually how they finished the show?
I might have, but I honestly do not remember.
They met his brother.
Really?
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Oh.
He is not a good person.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because like it just
hey,
trickles
big
down.
Bro.
Yeah, it just trickles down, right? Generational.
God.
It's a bigger message behind the a kids cartoon. But
I can turn this into a cartoon podcast.
Oh, we absolutely could. My favorite Ed, and Eddie episode was when okay, so you got Ed, Double D, and Eddie. Right?
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah. So my favorite episode was when Eddie, I think he got like hit in the head or something like that, and he turned like really, really mean.
Oh.
And it was just like an absolute terror in the cul-de-sac or something like that. It was like a really funny like humor horror film.
So I have 2 that were my favorites.
I think they broke something of Eddie's or something like that, and he went to a really dark place until somebody replaced it.
My favorite ultimately was when they had the episode where Eddie just kept saying up. And then,
Oh.
and then Kevin came around and said down, and things got worse.
Yes.
So either way, you guys can tell that we are going back up into lattice, well, which is like iceberg lattice because it's a salad. So as we mix together all of our salad ingredients, we go into our first hill, which will be out into ice. So
Sorry, I'm trying to keep it.
so you slip yourself in over towards that S7. That is going to be our main fight. Get this initial hill. It was so close to being found by the Utes. Can they actually get it this time and threaten going to a hill number 6?
I mean, I think they can. The hill was practically theirs before Fisher took it from them. I think they just lost a little bit of control over a mid and red tower. You really just cannot let Fisher College wrap all the way around behind you and take you down from back ice and the back portion of that red side of the map. So as long as they can keep Fisher College out of getting across the map for free like that, I think this could absolutely be the Utah's hill.
Well, Utah ends up taking over that S7, as that one was initially both Alvy and Hunnit trying to run it down in a 2-2. QT's up onto the top platter. So Utah at least does have initial control. You get a flash in the pan of seeing Brace just outside of that rafter position, and Mike 120 was looking very special into that previous iteration here for this King of the Hill. Now Utah will be on ice. Alvy's going to try and get rid of at least one. Karate JoJo's holding their ground.
Alvy taking a couple of shots from the back as well, but Karate JoJo gets taken down instead. 2 go down for the University of Utah, and 3 go down again. Mike 120, last member alive, he gets cleaned up by Hunnit, and now is going to be the Fisher Falcons who are looking to catch these spawners. They're already getting across bottom blue tower, making their way towards red and across the middle of the map.
Making their way down this town, running fast, trying not to get splash damage. Oh, looking to get that one.
That was so close.
Straight into the Mjolnir armor, but eventually it would be a teammate that does at least get rid of one. They don't identify that someone is actually still into that other side of red ramp. That's a killing spree, double kill. All of the extra medals going towards Hunnit. You only get one last chance if you're Utah, and you got to make it quick.
They got to make it really fast. You have to get on the hill right now. You have to start sending the grenades, and you have to deal the damage. No one is dying on the hill. The hill is going to get capped in the next couple of seconds, and it does, and that is it. Despite the technical pause, Fisher Falcons are going to be your grand finalists. We're getting a rematch between North Alabama and University of Utah.
I mean, whole day is going to be a rematch, but that's going to be the next one up. And, a lot of promise from out of Utah. Saw some moments of magic, and now this is where things start becoming very real. Fisher Falcons, they go 4-0 through this winners finals. A flawless finals and a flawless year as it's been so far. The last time they lost a game was winners finals of spring 2025. So far has been pretty darn good, and they haven't dropped nothing. But Utah, they get another chance with only a one-chance pony left with the Lions. The way they treated them last time, and with the way that UNA is desperately looking for a big map win, feels like there's still a lot of wind beneath the wings of the Utes to try and take them down.